Joining us now, Republican Senator Markwayne Mullin of Oklahoma. Senator, always good to have you. So your fellow Republican senators were pretty outspoken about what the Trump administration tried to do. Murkowski called the attempted indictments chilling. Tillis called it political lawfare that needs to stop. Grassley said the Justice Department should focus on going after real lawbreakers. Wicker said the grand jury made the right decision. How do you feel about the Trump administration trying to send those 6 members of Congress, including 2 of your Senate colleagues, to prison?
Well, Jake, it's not the lane I walk in. I leave that to the DOJ. I'm not an attorney. Don't pretend to be an attorney. My branch of government is the legislative branch. What we have been focused on, and what I've been laser focused on, is DHS funding. Trying to get away from this Democrat shutdown with DHS. That's actually political theater. So, what's going on at the DOJ? If it's something that I need to get involved in because it's a legislative requirement, then I'll get involved in it. Until then, I'll let them do their job.
I do have a tough time imagining, let's say if the Biden administration had tried to prosecute Rand Paul for saying things about COVID that they didn't like. I have a tough time imagining you would say the same thing.
Well, I would say the same thing if I'm not familiar with the case law or if it's something that I need to do. Like I said, I'm not an attorney. I stay very focused on my lane. I tell people all the time, listen, I'm never going to ask you to do a job that I haven't done or I think I can do better. Being an attorney has never been something I want to do. And so, Jake, I'm very serious when I say this. I'll let DOJ play out. What we don't want it to be done, what we don't want to happen is for the DOJ to be used for political leverage, which is what happened underneath the Biden administration, which is what happened when they went after Trump for year after year after year. And we're trying to change that. I know the Republicans and I know the president is focused on the rule of law, and that's what we are. We want to restore the faith to the American people, restore the government back to the American people, allow the FBI, allow the DOJ, allow the Border Patrol, allow ICE to be able to do their job and enforce the laws that Congress passed.
Well, you just said you didn't want to weigh in, but then you accused the Biden DOJ of politicizing the DOJ. I mean, this DOJ is going after Trump's political opponents, Comey, Letitia James, the people on the Fed. Yeah. 2 of your colleagues, Kelly and Slotkin. I mean, you really don't think this DOJ is politicized?
I don't think there's even a question that the DOJ was weaponized against President Trump at this point. I mean, I don't even think that's a question. But what this is nothing but a distraction. What you and I are talking about is nothing but a distraction about what is actually happening right now with the Democrat Party by this political theater, by shutting down DHS for something that you even admitted yourself can't be done. They're not stopping ICE from doing their job. They're not stopping the Border Patrol from doing their job. All this is a political theater because of the State of the Union that's coming up a week from Tuesday. Because if this was really a serious conversation, they wouldn't be holding the TSA workers or FEMA or the Coast Guard hostage over something that cannot be done by the ridiculous shutdown of DHS.
Well, I don't know that I'm even admitting something. I'm just laying out facts. But let's turn to that because Senator Schumer earlier in the show laid out Democrats' demands to end the partial government shutdown. Are you open to any of the Democrats' proposed reforms to ICE and CBP as part of a compromise, such as requiring immigration agents to wear some form of identification and body cameras the way other police do to make sure that they follow use of force guidelines, et cetera?
Body cameras, 100%. There's nothing wrong with that. If we want to talk about giving ICE agents or any federal agents the top-of-the-line training, let's talk about that. As far as having like a photo ID exposed, absolutely not. Why? Is because the Democrats we've seen has been doxing them. They went into their place of worship where they thought they might be at. They went into their hotels. They went into the restaurants. What are you going to do? Expose their faces so you can intimidate their families? What we want is ICE to be able to do their job, and we would love for local law enforcement and for states to cooperate with us. But if we want to have a serious conversation, you bet. Let's sit down and have a conversation, figure out where we can make it where the laws that Congress passed, the ICE agents can enforce and do it in a safe manner and make sure our streets are safer. But what has happened is they haven't negotiated in good faith. When they wanted to do this 2-week CR, we asked for 6 weeks. They asked for 2 weeks. We said, okay, it took them 10 days before they gave us a counteroffer. White House returned an offer in 48 hours. It took them another 2 days to respond. And then when we asked, okay, listen, we're going to go into shutdown, let's have 2 more weeks of a clean CR because it took you guys 10 days to give us just a counteroffer. What they said is, no, we're not doing it. And that's when I started saying, Jake, this isn't about actually opening DHS back. This is about waiting until the president is done giving the State of the Union, which is a week from Tuesday, which is why I said this is nothing but political theater, because what they're saying they can't even do. They're saying they're trying to keep ICE from doing their job. And as you admitted earlier, and because it's true, ICE and the Border Patrol is funded through the One Big Beautiful Bill up until 2028. And so the only thing they have to shut down is the federal agencies that I named, like FEMA and the Coast Guard and TSA. So they're shutting down thousands of workers for nothing but a talking point.
Before you go, sir, the president referred to your governor, Kevin Stitt, who's the chairman of the National Governors Association, as mediocre and a rhino Republican in name only. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I figured you'd bring that up. Governor Stitt and I get along great. There has been definitely a rub between Governor Stitt and the president for quite some time. The president is a very good friend of mine as well. Sometimes friends just disagree, and I'll let them work that one out.
But I would just say, as a political observer, Governor Stitt is not a Republican in name only. He's a pretty conservative guy. Do you not agree?
Well, once again, this has to do with a personality difference between both of them and who the president, or actually who Governor Stitt endorsed during the presidential election. And so I'll let them work it out. I'll tell you, I mean this sincerely. President Trump is a very, very good friend of mine, and Governor Stitt is a good friend of mine too. So I never get involved between friends fighting.
All right, on Valentine's Day weekend, send my love to both of them if you would. Senator Mullin, thanks so much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.